Hello, my name is Frank Peck, and we're going to speak a little bit about managed trust deeds and what an advantage this could be for you. So let's just jump right into it. What are the advantages of owning trust deeds? Well, let's look. Right now, currently, trust deeds can allow you to earn significant rates of return. Right now, the average rate of return on a managed second trust deed is about 8% per year. And what does that mean to you? 8% per year? Well, if you had a $200,000 investment, okay, at 8%, okay, that would be about $16,000 per year. Now, if you're trying to find a way for retirement to be able to live a little better, I think you'd agree that this isn't bad, right? Well, let's compare it to a bank and a CD. First of all, if that same $200,000 was in a bank, all right, and maybe it was in a CD, well, you're probably going to get about a 1% return, or about $2,000 a year. Now, first of all, a CD isn't going to pay you on a monthly basis, but if it did, that'd be about $167 a month, right? Well, compared to what? This? At about $1,400 a month. Well, here we go. Same money, same period in time, completely different outcomes. And so as we're taking a look today at managed trust deeds, I think all of us would agree what we're looking for is a rate of return that's going to be significant. We want to have low risk, okay, with high safety, and we want to know that our investments are predictable. So let's just jump right into it. If we were in a bank, and let's talk about the money, this $200,000 you just put in a bank, if that money was in a CD in a bank, you know that it's going to be locked up for a year. That money is insured by what they call FDIC, right? Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Well, if you really want to become knowledgeable, you go look it up yourself and just see how strong this is as far as protecting your money. It is primarily geared, in my opinion, to provide safety or peace of mind when it comes to the banking institution. But once you learn about it, you may not feel that same safety as you felt, before you gain that knowledge. Well, right now we've got about $200,000 invested. You're looking at retirement, trying to keep up with inflation and taxes. Well, you know you're falling way, way behind. Also, this doesn't pay per month. Well, if you went to a bank today and you loaned them the $200,000, first of all the bank is going to give you is a piece of paper, stating that it is FDIC insured, and it's going to tell you about what your rate of return is and the length of time. Let's just say that it's a 12-month CD, right? So now you walk out, you're happy. Do you have any collateral? If something ever happened, for instance, do you own the vice president's car? No. Do you own a piece of the building? No. Is there anything as far as collateral that they've given you? No, absolutely not. But now if you went into the bank to get $200,000 from them, what's the difference? Well, that bank is probably going to own your firstborn child. They're going to own your home, your car, whatever it is that you're trying to buy, right? So there's a big difference as far as how they invest money and how you invest money. And I think you would agree that it is geared in their favor. For instance, they might pay you a 1% return, but yet they're going to turn right around with that money and loan it back to you at maybe an 8% return. If you're buying a home, maybe a 4 or 5% return. And that difference between 1% and 8% is their profit. So they use our money to make money. Not bad. But not only are they giving us a low rate of return, but guess what? They are setting it up so they have, here we go, collateral, right, to protect themselves. So in the event that you don't pay them back, they've got something of yours that they can sell to get back their money. So let's take a peek at it real fast, okay? So let's just say that you went down to borrow $200,000 to buy a home, all right? With that home, if that's what they're going to loan you, that meant that home was probably worth $250,000 because they're only going to give you about 80%. So $250,000, that means that you had to put down $50,000 of your own money. So again, that's what the house is worth, but they're only going to loan you 80%. So if something happens, they can turn around and sell that house. Now I think all of us would agree that there's a safety margin there. But how much safer would they have been if it was only a 60% loan to value? They could have sold that house substantially faster in the event that there was a problem, right? And so you take a peek here, 60% though would have required that you had substantially more money down. Maybe even as much as $100,000 or more down on that $250,000 home. So if you had a $250,000 home right next door to you today, and they put that on the market for $150,000, how many people would be in line to buy that? Everybody and their brother would want to buy that because of the protection. So they protected themselves with that. But most banks feel safe by only having an 80% loan to value, right? Well, how would you like to invest like the banks invest? How would you like to get the returns that the banks get? In fact, sometimes even better. Well, right now today, there are people out there in our society that need money. So we teach people how to become the bank. So the advantages that you have right now is that you can loan the $200,000 and have the whole thing completely managed by a broker. They set up all the paperwork, they collect the fees, they pay you every month. And the best part about this is that if you got an 8% return, which is about the average, okay, that right there is $16,000 a year, okay, or about $1,400 a month, which isn't bad, right? Compared to what? $2,000 a month. I think you'd agree that your living conditions would be substantially better here, right? So here they've been able. So somebody would borrow $200,000 from you. They've used their property as collateral. Okay. So you've loaned the $200,000 out at 8%. You make about $16,000, about $1,400 per month, right? But out of this, you understand that property is probably worth somewhere around $300,000 or more. Okay? And so in the event that something happened, how easy would it be to sell a piece of property with 50 to 60% loan to value? You understand that when it's broker managed, and the system that we're recommending is that you don't take properties that have any more than a 50 to 60% loan to value. And that means that if there's ever a problem, you can turn right around and that property can be sold. But if it's broker managed, you don't have to worry about it because the broker will take care of all that. But how many people will walk away from 40 or 50% equity in a piece of property? So instead of that property being $200,000, what if it was $2 million property that you loan money on, and maximum loan to value with the first and the second? Let's just say that there was $1 million owed on that property. Okay? How many people do you know that would walk away from $1 million in equity for a few payments? Right? Not very many. But if they did walk away from it, and there was 50% loan to value on that property, everybody and their brother would be in line trying to buy that piece of property for $1 million. So you have protection there of the equity in that property. Now these people are going to pay this back on a monthly basis. So you're going to be receiving the income every single month. And the system that a lot of companies have set up is that they're anywhere from a 12-month to a 24-month note. So that means that at the end of 12 months or at the end of 24 months, they turn around and they're going to pay you back what they owe you. And at that particular point, you can then turn around and reinvest that money. But so many people today do not know the advantages of owning trust deeds. First of all, they're safe, especially if the loan to value, is below 60%, right? Also with this, you understand that they're not going to be as volatile as mutual funds or some of the other high-risk investments that are out there, all right? The stock market doesn't necessarily affect this. It does have some effect with the real estate market, but you understand if it's $2 million today and something ever happened, you have a big advantage to try to sell that property. And it's going to outperform most CDs, money market accounts, mutual funds. You see, you've got a real advantage of owning managed trust deeds because your name is recorded on this. You are on deed. It is there. If something ever happens, you have that collateral to back you up. Well, that's Trust Deeds 101, and so hopefully that helps you. Thank you.